Welcome, dear viewers, to our unique channel, where today we will dive into the wonderful world of agriculture and learn about how the most expensive watermelons are grown. You've probably noticed that there are watermelons that are priced beyond all reasonable limits. And we wondered what makes these juicy berries so valuable and special. What secrets hide their cultivation? And why connoisseurs of exquisite flavors are ready to pay huge sums for them. In this fascinating video, we will plunge into the world of agrotechnology and secrets of growing watermelons, which have conquered the hearts of gourmets and rich collectors. We will tell you about the secrets and subtleties of caring for these fruits, about selection and hybridization, which make watermelons real works of art. You have probably heard about expensive varieties of watermelons, which are collected by real gourmets and connoisseurs of high cooking. These unusual berries, like agricultural treasures, fascinate with their unique taste and unique appearance. Today, we will go on a fascinating journey to find out what makes these watermelons so valuable and sought after. On our journey, we will meet a variety of watermelon varieties that are rarely found on supermarket shelves. These varieties may have an unusual shape, a beautiful pattern, or a delightful flavor. Each of them has its own unique character and amazing qualities that make them true gems of agriculture. The factors that make these watermelons so valuable are multifaceted and interesting. They can only be grown in certain climatic conditions and require special care. Their yields are often low, making them rare and unique on the market. And their great taste and delicate flavor make them desirable among gourmets and connoisseurs of taste. But what makes these watermelons so expensive? It's simple, they are real works of art among the berry world. Collectors, connoisseurs, and chefs are ready to pay huge sums for them to enjoy their exquisite taste and uniqueness. In the course of our fascinating story, we will get acquainted with the amazing stories of watermelons whose prices are off the charts. We will talk about what technologies and techniques are used to grow them. What are the peculiarities of their harvesting and storage? We will also learn about the different ways of selling these unique berries. This exciting journey begins with the soil and seeds that are the foundation for successfully growing these unique berries. Optimal soil is the key to a successful harvest. Before planting watermelon seeds, the soil must be thoroughly prepared. The first step is to ensure a good drainage system to prevent moisture retention. In this way, we reduce the risk of overwatering the root system. To do this, it is important to work the soil by adding sand or gravel. The second important point is to fertilize the soil. Watermelons like fertile soil, rich in nutrients. To do this, you can use compost, humus, or special fertilizers containing all the necessary microelements. Of course, it is important not to overdo it with fertilizer, so as not to cause overfeeding. Now that the soil is ready, it's time to pay attention to the choice of seeds. Each variety of watermelons has its own characteristics, so it is important to choose seeds that meet the given parameters and requirements. Choosing seeds, it is worth contacting reliable suppliers and prefer certified varieties. Sowing seeds is a crucial step. The optimal time for sowing depends on climatic conditions and the region in which cultivation takes place. Remember that watermelons are very sensitive to cold, so do not risk planting them too early in the spring. Most often sowing is done in late spring or early summer when the weather is warm. Each variety of watermelon requires its own special approach. Some of them prefer greenhouses, where optimal conditions for growth can be created. Others prefer to grow outdoors. It is important to take into account the peculiarities of each variety and provide it with comfortable conditions for development. After we have made the right choice of seeds and prepared the soil for planting, it is time to pay attention to the care of plants. Caring for them is the key to healthy growth and abundant harvest. Today, we'll cover proper watering, fertilization, and weed control, as well as discuss pruning and shaping techniques. We'll also look at possible problems you may encounter and ways to prevent and solve them. Let's start with watering. Correct and regular watering is one of the most important aspects of plant care. Water is a vital resource for plants, and a lack or excess of it can have a negative impact on their growth. it is important to monitor soil moisture and water plants according to their needs. It is also important to take into account climatic conditions and seasonal changes. Fertilization is another important aspect of plant care. The nutrients in fertilizers help plants get the necessary elements for healthy growth and development. However, it is important to choose the right type of fertilizer and dosage to avoid overfeeding or nutrient deficiency. Regular fertilization will help plants maintain their vitality and produce quality crops. Weed control is another integral part of plant care. Weeds can compete with cultivated plants for moisture and nutrients, as well as provide a haven for pests. Regular thinning and mulching will help reduce the risk of weed reproduction and provide plants with optimal growing conditions. Pruning and shaping plants is not only an aesthetic aspect, but also a way to increase yields. Proper pruning helps to create a compact plant with a well-developed root system and to enhance flowering and fruiting. Different plants require different approaches to pruning, so it is important to study the characteristics of each species and apply the correct pruning methods. Various problems such as pests, diseases, or unfavorable weather conditions can occur during plant care. It is important to be prepared for these situations and prevent problems well in advance. Proper diagnosis and timely action will help minimize losses and ensure a successful harvest. The right time to harvest watermelons is the key to getting the best quality and flavor. You can determine the maturity of watermelons by paying attention to several important signs. The first is the sound. Mature watermelons will make a deep, muffled sound when tapped, while immature ones will sound brighter and higher. The second sign is the color of the bottom of the watermelon. The ripe fruit will have a yellowish or creamy color, while the immature ones will remain greener. Also pay attention to the ledge of the watermelon. On ripe fruit, it will be softer and drier. When it comes time to pick, use a sharp knife or pruning shears to carefully cut the watermelon from the stem. In doing so, it is worth leaving a small tail of the stem, which will help extend the shelf life of the fruit. Remember that proper handling of watermelons at this stage will help to preserve their integrity and freshness. After harvesting watermelons, it is important to handle them properly to prevent damage and reduce the risk of various diseases. Some growers apply a wax coating to protect the skin of the watermelon and extend its shelf life. However, if you plan to grow watermelons for your own consumption, this may not be necessary. After processing, the watermelons are ready for storage. The most suitable way is a cool place with a temperature of about 10 to 15 degrees Celsius. This can be a cool room or a cellar. It is important to avoid storing watermelons in the refrigerator, as this can negatively affect their flavor and texture. Remember that the freshness and quality of watermelons can be maintained even after picking. If you plan to use the watermelons later, store them in a dry and cool place. It is also advisable to wrap watermelons in newsprint or foil to protect them from dust and moisture. When it comes to selling expensive watermelons, there are several different ways to approach marketing. Some growers choose to sell their watermelons at specialty markets, farmers' fairs, or directly to local buyers. This allows for a more direct connection with customers and allows them to sell fresh fruit without middlemen. Other growers may prefer to sell expensive watermelons in bulk to restaurants, cafes, or specialty stores, for example. This approach may be more financially advantageous, but requires establishing long-term partnerships with buyers. It is also important to consider seasonal factors and the demand for expensive watermelons. These exclusive fruits can be in demand in various culinary recipes, celebrations, and events. Note that seasonality can affect the price and demand in the market. An important aspect of successfully selling expensive watermelons is packaging and presentation of the product. Attractive packaging, labeling mentioning rare varieties and product quality can attract the attention of buyers. Creative use of advertising and social media can also help expand your audience and attract new customers. Dear viewers, our exciting journey through the world of the most expensive watermelons has come to an end. We hope you enjoyed the fascinating information about rare varieties, the growing process, and the care of these valuable fruits. In conclusion, We would like to summarize the main points we covered in our video. First, we got to know the different rare varieties of watermelons and learned why they are so highly prized. Then we talked about how to properly prepare the soil and seeds to grow these unique fruits. We also discussed the importance of proper plant care, as well as rules for harvesting and storing precious watermelons. You learned about the different selling and marketing techniques that will help you successfully market your produce. And of course, we did not forget about the demand and market conditions for these highly valuable fruits. We hope that our tips and knowledge will help you in growing and selling prized watermelons and open new perspectives for your business or hobby. If you have any additional questions or suggestions for future videos, feel free to leave your comments below this video. We will be happy to answer your inquiries and consider interesting ideas for new videos on our channel. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to stay up to date with all new videos and learn about the latest trends in the watermelon world. Your support and interest in our content is very important to us. Thank you for your time, and see you again on our channel. Remember that knowledge is power and luck is always on the side of those who strive for new horizons. Goodbye.